we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Something went wrong. What's up, hee? Thanks for coming back, bro. I changed my mind. I promised reviews, and I also promised that I would tell you all the story of how I met Magnus. Doesn't matter how I feel, bro. I was feeling a little in the dumps, but after drinking some water and eating some food, I'm feeling a little bit better. And I'm going to give you guys exactly what I promised. So I sent a ping out in the Discord server, and I'm going to go ahead and message everyone now. We'll wait for some people to get in here. When will you organize Halloween tournament? So I actually just posted the tournament sign-up in the tournament sign-up channel on the Discord server, homie. I actually need to put together the bracket for that. Also, I need to change the thumbnail. You guys are going to get a sneak peek at my thumbnails real quick. I need to put Magnus on this, because this has to do with Magnus. So, hang on. I'm going to have to turn this camera off real quick. 1 second. We back, guys. We back. Appreciate you all coming back. I sent prizes out to you. Super wants his prize tomorrow because he just want to wake his dad up because I sent it to his dad. Sending his tomorrow. I sent Mans. Yeah, I sent Mans. You. And then he. If you want me to send your prize, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Discord and tell me how you want me to pay you. Okay. But I need to turn this camera off real quick. Welcome back, guys. Guys, I just have to apologize to you. I was so incredibly slow for that chess tournament, and that is completely my bad. Something happened during the tournament, and I kind of got a little down in the dumps, so I just like to extend an apology. Our tournaments are usually a lot more high energy than that, so that, on top of not being able to have the eval bar on screen, kind of put me in a little bit of a bad mood. So that is completely my bad, but I'm going to make it up to you guys. I'm going to review every single tournament game that we played here today, including that bullet tiebreaker between Mongo and... I think it was Brutus, Mongo and Brutus. What's crazy is I think Mongo was Brutus's toughest match up until Super, obviously. So let's dive into that. I am doing a little bit better. I am doing better. I need to eat some food. I need to drink a little water, and I feel like I'm doing a little bit better now. Thank you, Super. I appreciate it. But guys, stay right there. I need to add Magnus to my thumbnail on this live stream. So hang on one second. I need to figure out where my freaking thing is. That is my camera. Don't turn that off. What time is it for you guys right now? Just out of sheer curiosity. And this is all going to be recorded too, by the way. So you guys can come back and watch. Oh, this is actually perfect too, because I need to record me doing this, and then I was going to make a YouTube video out of it. Oh, this is actually perfect. Okay. All right. Where on earth is the second camera? Why is it like eluding me? Not that. Yeah. Shout out Super. Super won a very, very good tournament. Super deserves bragging rights. Did you guys see his picture in the Wall of Fame too? He's had a picture of Brutus destroying Caesar. I'm not gonna lie, that had me cracking up, Super. All right. Apologies, guys. Where is... I'm still trying to find my darn camera. That is chessboard. Update square 1. Update square 2. Dark classroom. Background. Such chessboard. Okay, so I need this. You need to go back. It should be showing up as green on here. There you are. That's... No. What? What? Oh, it's called bracket. Okay. Alright, hang on. I gotta add Magnus to my thumbnail, so stay tuned. Actually, you know what? No. You guys get to watch. I want to let you guys watch. You guys get to look at my thumbnails. You're probably not gonna have a very good view of it, but I'm gonna show you guys one of my thumbnails here. I gotta steal a Magnus photo that I have. Alright, so we're gonna bring you over here, Mr. Magnus. Go over here. Put Magnus on here. Because obviously you can't have a thumbnail without Magnus on here. Look at this handsome guy. Dude, I'm not going to lie. Magnus is very scary in real life. He's very, very intimidating. And he was ordering coffee, and he didn't want to take a picture with me, obviously. But I told him he had to, so he took a picture with me. So it was great. And he also just won. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Magnus actually just won the tournament. Fun fact. He absolutely smoked everybody after this. Alright, so I need to go here. Put a little outline around him, just something light. maybe like a little white action on there for Mr. Magnus. And then I also want to put my photo on the left side, so you guys can all see. Yeah, I'm going to put, okay, so this is me. This is from an old thumbnail. I'm just taking stuff from old thumbnails because I need to actually go a little bit faster, so I'm not wasting your guys' time. There we go. All right, beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and download this. Beautiful. Dude, Magnus. Bro, if it wasn't for me taking that photo with Magnus, Magnus would not have won the tournament, for real. Let's be real. All right, so that's 2. All right, beautiful. All right, so let's go back to the tournament, and I'm going to go ahead and add this to the broadcast screen. Edit, thumbnail change. There we are. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go shoot some messages to some people real quick. Guys, I'm about to start these reviews here, and if you guys want to stick around for the review. Yeah, we're doing this, guys. We're doing this. Also, guys, how do you, like, guys, genuinely speaking, you guys, like, you're obviously higher rated. How do I set up something where, because I want to get your guys' opinion on this. So, like, I have to still work my normal job, because obviously I still need to make money to, like, live and exist and all, right? And I want to keep hosting these chess tournaments, and I want to have more than 2 a week, ideally. Like, ideally, our tournament schedule right now is on Tuesdays and Fridays, but we've only been able to do, like, we only have enough people for the 1,000 to 1,500 ELO format, but I want to have tournaments with people sub 1,000 ELO, above 1,500 ELO, and then above 2,000 ELO, because I want it to be, like, readily available for everybody. Like, A, how do you guys think I should go about trying to get more people in here in these tournaments? And B, like what do you guys think? Tell me your guys' thoughts. Like, obviously, like, my goal for Full Strive in general, get a little real with you guys real quick, is I want to provide you guys with as much help as I possibly can, give you guys a cool, fun spot where we can all compete with good sportsmanship and just have fun together. And I also want to be able to do that more, but I am unable to do that because, obviously, like I said, I still have to work my normal job, so it's a little bit harder for me personally. But yeah, like, tell me your guys' thoughts. Like, what do you guys think of the tournaments, like, just in general? Do you guys like the formats? I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. I was actually thinking about doing, like, running up some testimonials here sometime. But tell me what you guys think about this. How can I improve the tournaments? Like, ideally, like, the reason why I have it as 3 minutes plus 2 for the tournament matches is because I feel like it's the quickest way to get the tournament games done and dusted. And also, like, we did a 5-minute format one time, and tournament games, they weren't, like, super duper long, but, like, I just feel like 3 plus 2 is just so much better. But what do you guys think? That's a good point, bro. You are not wrong. But I have a theory, that I genuinely feel like chess in general is only at about 10% of its capability of being a worldwide sensation. And I say that because we have a lot of big chess films that are going to be coming out here soon. There's going to be, let's be honest, there's going to be another big chess boom here soon. Magnus is going to slam the table, somebody's going to flip a table, someone's going to throw a chess piece at Hikaru's head, Hikaru's just going to laugh and then stream and break it down afterwards. Like genuinely speaking, like in the next 5 years, I see chess being, at least in terms of the entire population for people who watch and support chess, I see it being at least 10 times bigger than what it currently is right now. And I feel like all of us, every single one of us, is here early at a great, fantastic time getting into the game before all the bandwagoners start jumping on. And genuinely speaking, like, I just feel like it's very, very close to hitting another massive, and I mean massive, jump in terms of popularity. But tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about that? While you guys are saying that, I'm going to go ahead and start putting together all of this. Oh, and tell me what you guys think of the tournaments, too. I mean, you guys that have watched the tournaments and played the tournaments before know that they're a lot more high energy than what I had earlier today. But I think it's just because it's cold outside too. I feel like I was a little like just down in the dumps, and I also kind of bit my cat's nose, and he was like sneezing. I felt bad, so that kind of upset me too. But some other stuff was going on too. But we won't talk about that. But all right, need to bang this out for you guys. Let's go and get the eval bar on screen, and I'm gonna go start pulling up games. All right, so meet Adam and explore chess. Also, I'm gonna go message people on Discord real quick. Hey bro, I decided to still do the reviews and then tell the story of how I met Magnus. Hop in if you still have time. Alright, so we got that. So copy this. Wait, actually I need to share the stream too. Alright, so copy video link. Go down here. Message this to explore chess real fast. Okay, so we got him. Who else played today? A lot of new faces. I think it was somebody here. Sparsh. Send that to Sparsh real quick. Yeah, that's a good point, Supra, but I'm genuinely concerned about the eval bar not being able to be on screen. I want to actually dummy test it and see if I can do it on the on Twitch with the eval bar, because you've been in the tournaments before. You know the eval bar is usually readily available, and we're able to put it on there. For whatever reason, today it just wasn't working. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and share this with Mr. TJ as well. Alright. I'm going to message Brutus real quick too. So Mr. Brutus. Actually, I can just go on my Discord and copy it real quick. Hang on. Copy text. Alright, cool. So I sent that to TJ. Who else do I need to message real fast? A couple other people I need to message if I'm not mistaken. Harshboo. You can message him too. Alright, so we sent that to Harshboo. And then who else am I forgetting? I think Mongo's gonna be here soon, hopefully. It's 2 a.m. at night. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't realize it was that late there. It is 3:14 p.m. for me right now. Different slots for Tuesday and Friday. What do you mean by that exactly? You curious? Okay, I think I messaged everybody. All right, cool. So people join, they join. If not, they don't. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling up all the games though. So first things first, we have it was me, Adam, and Explore Chess. So we're gonna pull up these two real fast. Yeah, I just want to test this and see if the eval bar still won't load. Yeah, it still won't load for YouTube. That's interesting. I'm going to look into that a little bit more, but I came into this tournament today expecting to readily have the eval bar available, and so that kind of just threw me through a whole loop. But next time, if we're not able to have the eval bar, I'll have a better plan in place for my commentary. Because I'm so used to just like watching the eval bar and just like following the moves as the engine processes everything and so forth, but Gotta be a little better prepared, you know? That's life. Life's gonna throw you curveballs and you gotta be ready for anything. That is the reality of things. Alright, but let's go ahead and start pulling up these games here. Here we go. Here's our homie Explore Chess. So this was game 1. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up his second game too. Whoa, that's still the same game. Between him and Brutus. Okay. So now let's go to Mr. Brutus here. And okay, so I have this game pulled up. So we got both Brutus and Mongo now. Did the review for that one. Excellent. And then we go back and we pull up him and Supratine. Beautiful. What's up, guys? If you're just joining us, doing the reviews here, and then I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I met Magnus freaking Carlsen. All right, so now we got Super pulled up. So we have this game pulled up. So we got to pull up this game. Review. And then we got to pull up this game, I believe. Yep. Click on that. Review. And then if I'm not mistaken, I need to go to Sassy Panda. Okay. And we're going to review his and TJ's game. And I believe there was a bullet match in there somewhere. I think it was Mongo. Mongo played the bullet match. It was him and Brutus, obviously. Okay. So we gotta go back to Super real fast. So let's pull Super up here. Pull this gentleman up here real fast. Okay. And this was the match between him and Mongo. Beautiful. Alright, that should be everybody. Should be 8 games here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Alright, so Explore Chess and me, Adam, was first. And then it was Mongo and Brutus. So the 3-minute game was first, and then the bullet game. And then after this, it was TJ and... No. After this, it was Supra. And Harsh Poo. Good. Okay, so that's 4 games. Yeah, okay, so this is right. And then it went Exploring Chess, next game. Super here. And then here. Cool. Alright, awesome. Alright, so if you're in the live stream right now, let me know real fast. And if you're in the live stream, I'll do the reviews from your perspective. And also, I have a fun little thing I can put on the screen for you guys too, which is this. Showing you guys what rating you all played if you don't have the gold member or the chess.com membership. So, alright, so let me read this real quick. So, Super, I will sleep as soon as live ends. My man, Super, thank you. 1:44 a.m. here. Alright, I'm going to try and get these done quick for you guys so you guys can go to sleep. You guys are absolute G's, by the way. Sorry this is going so late. Thank you. I will sleep as soon as live ends. Super, what in your profile? I can't zoom and I can't figure it out without zooming. I'm pretty sure that's a rock. I mean, like Tuesday for 2,000 ELO players and Friday for under 1,500. Honestly, I feel like that's plausible. The only problem is that we just literally don't have enough players to fill a bracket for 1,500 plus, I don't think. And plus, on top of that, too, like, some of the guys are between 1,500 to 1,700 ELO, and if we get, like, He or Pabu in the stream, for example, or in the tournament, for example, it's just going to be an absolute blowout unless we give them time odds, you know? There's just a lot of factors we have to factor in. I do think that is definitely a possible scenario, yes. But... oh, it's a rock. Super, are you Hank? Oh, my sleep deprived. I thought it was Capybara with wheels. I'm dead. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this review real quick for you guys. Dude, you're an absolute G, bro. Dude, when full strive gets very big, and it is gonna get big, guys. I promise you wholeheartedly, full strive is gonna be very, very big, very, very soon. I'm gonna remember all you guys that were here when we were a little bit smaller. I feel like we're doing a lot better now than we were a few weeks ago, a few months ago, whatever you want to call it. But you guys, absolute G's. I'm going to keep notes for you guys when everything starts blowing up. Make y'all some mods in the Discord at some point in time. But all right, let's get these reviews underway. So in this first game here from Explore Chess and Me Adam, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick just so they can review. Me Adam played a 70.5 and Explore Chess, the winner, played a 73.5. There was one blender played here by Me Adam. And Explore Chess played like 1,050 and Me Adam played like a 900. So very, very, very even matched game in this one. So let's dive right into it. So I'm going to watch from Explore Chess's perspective in this one. Game opens up with E4. And we see C6, the Carlsen. Beautiful opening here. I'm going to pull up the database real quick. And this is the Carlsen defense. And after they push here, you usually always bring your bishop out here or here, ideally. And Me Adam does play the bishop out here. Nicely done here from him. Good technique. And Explore Chess pushes the knight here. And this is a bad move because of I believe it's E6 first. But yeah, you can go D4 right off the bat. And this knight cannot take here because you would lose the queen. And now this knight's forced to move. And you can't go here. If you go here, it's a little tricky because obviously there's going to be stuff coming down the board here eventually. The queen could eventually come down here if this pawn ever pushes and creates a check. And there's just stuff going on all across the board here. But we get this move, and Me Adam plays this move. And honestly, second top engine move, still a good move. I honestly, me personally, I probably would have played that. And plus, on top of that, too, if you push this pawn, it's a little bit of an overextension. And you probably want to keep your pawns as solid as possible in the Carlsen. But we now see D4 played here from Explore Chess, and we see C5, best move on the board, nice, putting some pressure on this pawn. And we see the move Bishop E2, and that is an inaccuracy solely for the fact of Knight C6 getting development. It says Bishop E3. And why can't so like this move right here, so why can't you just take straight away? You cannot take here because if knight takes on duh. Obviously. Because after the knight takes, you're just gonna lose the bishop. Or the bishop under attack and you just do that. Alright, fair enough. You probably wouldn't do that exactly, but you get the point. But we see knight c6 here. The bishop comes out here now to b5. We see a6 attacking the bishop. They wanted them to take here, but I honestly feel like that's reasonable. We see a take here, and the D pawn should have taken the C pawn here. Because after you castle, after C takes D4, and let's say the queen takes here, and I actually mentioned this on the stream, after the queen does take here, now black can take this knight here, and you can only take with the pawn, and now you have damaged pawn structure on top of your king being very exposed on this file. So, little note there. But instead we see, the queen slid up here, and like instead of playing that after black played 97, you probably should have just straight up taken, because right now that pawn is just literally hanging currently, but it will get taken back here shortly after a couple of moves. But queen e3 and the knight slides over here. We see h3 played by white, and the bishop now takes. Good move. Can you slide the bishop back here? No, you cannot. So good move here from Me Adam. And he also wins a pawn in the process. Queen e3, bishop slides up. You did not need to move this knight because it's covered by the pawn. So good technique here from Me Adam, sliding the knight back now. And Explore Chess plays this move. And this move is very bad because you blundered a fork of the pieces. Me Adam takes the bishop instead. So note here for Explore Chess, if you're watching this later or you join here in like a second or two, after this pawn push, you have a fork of the pieces, and you did miss this in the game. So we see this, and also, you need to take with the queen here. Actually, maybe you don't. Oh, I do see why. Because you were thinking this, and this is bad for sure. But it says after queen g3, D takes the pawn. You attack here. Rook F8. Yeah, it's a long line, but honestly, taking with the pawn there is definitely a little bit better, especially in blitz. So okay, so that move makes a little bit more sense now. All right, touche. Black now castles here. Knight slides back. Queen slides forward here to C7. We see Queen C3. F6 now played by black, and you probably could have taken here, but the reason why I feel like you didn't take here, this move was played instead. The reason why you didn't take here is because I feel like you were worried about the bishop coming in here to snipe. But with that bishop coming in here to snipe, you also have this. So takes, slide the rook up, defend this pawn. Actually, wait, no, you don't play that. You play, oh, the queen's covering, obviously. Rook AB1. Now the bishop's forced to go back, and you have opportunities to try and save the position. But instead of taking here, you play knight G3. We see C4. B3. And the position looks completely and utterly hopeless here for Explore Chess, but this is blitz and anything can happen. Also, Explore Chess has 44 seconds on his clock to meet Adams 51 seconds now. So E4, we see knight H5, and in this position, Adams plays A5. Blundering checkmate in one move, and in an absolutely crushing heartbreak, Adams loses this game to Explore Chess, and Explore Chess moves on to the next round. I imagine he will Adam will never ever miss this ever again. But GG's to Adam. I thought he played a very, very valiant game. He put in a very, very good effort. But Explore Chess finds the correct maneuvering of moves to put his opponent in a spot where he can make a mistake like this and wins the game. So nicely done there, my friend. Next up is Mongo and Brutus. Yo, guys, y'all gotta see this. Look at this. These guys played exceptional. Dude, this game was exceptional. Bro, somebody messaged me. Holy smokes. I cannot believe these guys played this good. They both played like 1900s. Both played stellar out of the opening and the middle game. Only one mistake by Brutus, and 4 inaccuracies from Mongo, and then 2 inaccuracies from Brutus. Holy smokes. I am so curious about this game. Jeez Louise, bro. That's a crazy good game. But let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'm going to watch this one from Mongo's perspective, and then we're going to flip-flop over to black and watch from black's perspective in the bullet game after this, because we know how this one ends. We see E4, E5, knight of 3, knight of 6, knight takes on E5, and usually you are okay with taking here, I believe. Yeah, because after the queen slides up to E2, you can go queen E7, and after takes, I believe you have this move, right? Once you go D6. And if the knight moves, like, you're just gonna hang the queen. But there's tricky lines in the Petrov, but Brutus vouches for D6 here, pushing the pawn forward. Yeah, literally blitz too, bro, dude. Mongo gave that every last bit that he had. Kudos to Mongo. I cannot believe these guys played this good of a game. This might be the greatest full stripe chess tournament game in history. Knight of 3 now. We see knight takes, and Mongo does a good job sliding the queen up. Dude, they played so... I'm pretty sure the book moves don't end until move 10. No, move 9, I think. Oh, my word. Queen E2, pinning the knight to the king. Now you gotta slide the queen up. Nice. D3. Nice to go back. We see takes. Bishop E2. Alright, so the book moves end now. So this official opening for this game was a Petrov's Defense classical Cosio attack. Knight comes here to C6. White castles. Black castles. Knight to C3, bishop slides up, bishop also slides up. We have the knight in here. I believe it's a quick exchange. Yep. Now the knight jumps in here. And yeah, everything it just looks like such a symmetrical position in terms of the pawns. I believe they exchange here as well. Yes, they do. So we see C5 after this. Another great move from Brutus. Holy smokes, bro. Bishop slides down. Bishop comes down here now to attack that pawn on B2. Mongo does an excellent job. Also, guys, keep in mind, too, These guys have used almost no time, and they have played absolutely perfectly. Perfectly. I cannot believe these guys play this kind of game. Bishop c6, and then Mongo plays bishop f4. Brutus pushes the pawn forward here to d5, and then we see the bishop coming in here, attacking the rook, and also attacking the pawn. So you gotta do something about that, and Brutus does a great job of sliding the rook over because this is the only move, because if the bishop takes here now, you now lose a bishop, so Mongo cannot take that pawn now, so he's gonna have to move that bishop, or slide the rook over, that works too. I believe bishop f3 was a little bit better. Yeah, bishop f3 was a little bit better, but still, you saw the attack and you did a good job defending it. We now see bishop e7, slide back, a quick exchange to the bishops, and we see d4. And this is our first inaccuracy of the game. And it took us 21 moves to finally get to anything that was below a excellent move. Crazy. And the reason why this is an inaccuracy move is because after rook e8, you now have a battery. And obviously you have to slide the king over, only thing that can defend that bishop, and there's just stuff you got to worry about here in this spot. But honestly, the position isn't even dead. But Brutus in this spot pushes the pawn forward here now, and it says it's an inaccuracy, but like, you push the pawn forward, you're taking away some very important squares here from the bishop. You're also stopping the bishop from getting here, which is a very, very important square here. And I think it's reasonable. Bishop f3 now played here from Mongo. We see the rook sliding over here now, and now Mongo has to take the rook, and he does that without even blinking. Dude, sorry, I'm going to glaze for a second. Dude, this game is insane, bro. We see h3 here now played by Mongo. Pawn f6. Pawn pushes here now to b3. We see takes. King slides up now. Okay, so this is an inaccuracy here from Brutus. I don't know why I just blanked there. Because the rook takes on a7. That just straight up hangs a pawn. And now what Brutus can do here to try and get back in the game is rook check here. King's only move is to slide up, and after rook b1, let's say you push this pawn, and then you go, I want you to go king e6, but I feel like rook b2, yeah, rook b2 is okay. Why can't you go here? Oh, no. Wait. Because b5. Crazy tactics. All right, but anyways, we see h6 now played here from Brutus, and this is the first time in this entire game that there has been a winning spot for one of these players. The winning move here is actually c4. Because after takes, let's say a quick bishop exchange. Oh wait, no, you don't take the pawn back. Oh no, yeah, you take the bishop first. Take the bishop first, and after the pawn takes, you take, and now you push this pawn, or you take with this pawn, and Mongo's up a clean pawn, and he has two pawns that are only being stopped by a pawn and a king, and this is a winning endgame every single time. Because let's say black pushes the pawn here, you will never ever. Oh my gosh, I want you to take here. Oh, wait, why would it want you to take there? Hang on, let me do the one here. King b7, king f1, g6, king here, king comes down, king d3, king takes. Yeah, it gets so tricky. I mean, obviously, like, me personally, I'm probably pushing the pawn here, just to like still have that passer at all times, you know. But anyway, sorry, I'll jump out of the theory. Instead of playing that though, Mongo slides the rook down, but he's still winning here. So it's an inaccuracy, but he's still winning here. Rook c7 now played here by Brutus. We see the rook sliding over here. Mongo could have played bishop b2, trying to stop this bishop from having some squares. Really? Wait. Let me look at this. So after rook here, is that what he wants you to stop? No. Wait, okay, that just blunders a pawn. Okay. All right. Anyways, I need to keep going. Rook c1. Pawn pushes now. We see a take on that piece there. And Mongo's still up a pawn here. Pawns are pushing, and Mongo cannot take this pawn because he would blunder his rook. Good move here from Mongo. The king slides down. Rook slides over. We see it takes, and I actually thought that Mongo was actually, like, it's even now because the rook, like the king can slide over here, and the rook's not going to have enough squares to cover this pawn. And let's run it through real quick. After here, let's say it takes. Actually, no. Let's say pushes here. Takes. You probably take with the f pawn, yes, and when you come over here, the rook is still covering and the king's just going to take. So let's say you go here. You're not going to take with the rook, so you take with the rook. You're going to plunder a pawn. It's still a drawn position, but just something to be aware of. We see rook takes on b5, and then g5 now played here from Brutus. King slides up. Rooks are exchanged off the board, and the king shuffle, and we have a draw on the board. Insane game from these two. Dude, I'm sorry. This game was absolutely flawless. I wish for the life of me I had that eval bar on screen because I would have reacted so much better. But kudos to these two on a real well-fought game. But now it's time to go into the bullet madness. So we watched from... Gosh dang it. Yeah, we're going to watch from White's perspective again. Darn it. Yeah, I missed that. I should have watched from I guess it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been black either way. But anyways, we're going to watch from White's perspective again. We'll pull this up real quick so you guys can see. In this game, this is a 2-minute bullet match with no bonus time, by the way. Mongo played 81.2, and Brutus played 74.9. And obviously, from the looks of it, we all know what happened in this one. Mongo played a very solid game. Very, very solid game. But with 2-minute bullet with no bonus time, it can be brutal. So let's dive right into this game. We see e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. I'm pretty sure this is basically the same line we saw in the previous game, no? No, we saw Petrov in the last game. Aw, Kitty. Kitty says hi, guys. Alright, so we see d6 here played by Brutus. d4, e takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes back on d4. You didn't want to take there. Apparently you wanted to develop this knight. Because you can't push here, because obviously you just hang a piece temporarily. Oh, you don't even take there. Huh, interesting. Alright, anyways. Where was I? Yeah, knight takes on d4. Queen takes back, knight develops here. And then Mongo pushes the pawn here, and that's a slight inaccuracy because of queen e7, pinning the pawn to the king. But instead, Brutus plays this move, and that is bad because of queen d3 just sliding back. And let's say the pawn takes. I believe Mongo can... Oh, he wants him to sack the bishop. And the king cannot take here because if the king takes, you're going to lose the queen. King has to slide down. And queen b3, and you're creating havoc on this position. Crazy. But, yeah, Mongo slides the queen down. So, best move on the board for Mongo. We see it takes here. Bishop takes. And, yeah, you don't want to take that pawn because you kind of gave Brutus a tempo here. We see a pawn push, knight slides over, queen slides over here. Bishop b5 check was a little bit better. See castles. Knight takes on c4. So we're going to see, quick exchange of the pieces. Bishop comes down here now, queen slides back, rook slides over, and then the queen slides up here. And also, I feel like I've been saying the names wrong this whole time. Mongo is black, Brutus is white. I'm sorry, I feel like I've been saying the names this whole time. Brutus, everything I said about Mongo earlier, it's actually Brutus, so sorry about that. We see queen f3 here now from Brutus, and this is horrible because of the very, very dubious bishop c4, attacking the rook. And the rook is forced to move now, and what's crazy, too, is after the rook goes here. Oh, wait, that's not even a good move. Oh, it says you can't even move the rook. Yeah, you can't go here because that would just hang the rook, and also that would just blunder checkmate. And after you go here, bishop b2. So tactics, but this is bullet, and you're going to miss stuff. Mongo now pushes the pawn forward here, and the bishop comes up here now for Brutus. And also, both players are now below 1 minute on their clock, so they're playing a little bit faster. We see it takes. Queen d7. Knight slides over here. And it's covered by the queen. See a pawn push. Queen slides back. Knight slides over. Bishop comes down. Pawn push. Yeah, Brutus is low on time. 95 would have been a little bit better there. But I know we're low on time, so we're just kind of blitzing out moves. We see a quick exchange, and it's still a very, very even position. And now Mongo slides the rook over, and so Brutus has to take the rook here. Good job. And then after this move, and Mongo has like 6 seconds on his clock, so he just doesn't even have time to think. And all these moves after this are pretty bad. We see h5 here now by Mongo. Like, you're honestly just playing moves to keep time. g6, and then after a4 played by Brutus, Mongo in a winning position, loses on time. Brutal, 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 brutal game. Full credit to Mongo, though. Mongo played a hell of a tournament. Hang on, I'm texting Mongo real quick. See, in the first game, and you dominated second time. Wild. Alright, cool. But yeah, GG's to Mongo, and congratulations to Brutus. He moved on to the next game. And that concludes game 2 of the Full Strike Chess Tournament. So let's go on to the next game between Mr. Supra and our newcomer. His name is different. Harshbu. Supra, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if that's an Indian name or not. Like, I've said this countless times with my American tongue. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Harshbu? I don't think he ever responded and told me if it was Harshbu or not. But, okay. Alright. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick so you guys can see. Supra dominated this game. Supra put on an absolute clinic in this game. I'm not even going to lie. Full kudos to Harshbu. I thought he fought valiantly. But Supra was the better player in this one. 84.8% accuracy. Played like a 1700. Supra, very, very nice work here in this one. But, alright, let's go ahead and jump into the review. And we're watching from Supra's perspective because Supra's in the stream. And unfortunately, Harshbu is not. So... yes, Harshbu. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, so... game opens up here with e4 played here from Harshbu, and Supra actually blunders here. He plays e5. It would have been a lot better to play c6, because after this, the Carlsen is obviously the best advanced variation. Alright, sorry. e5. Knight c3, knight f6, f4, and this is a Vienna game. Folkbeer, Vienna Gambit. Interesting. I love seeing you guys playing new openings and gambits. Love seeing you guys get creative. I need to get more creative in my gameplay too. I actually need to start hosting some study sessions where I study lines with you guys. But anyways, a topic for another day. d6 now played, knight f3. We see knight b d7, bishop c4, bishop b7. Nice, good job here from Supra, freeing up his king to castle. We see knight g5. And I genuinely thought this move was pretty rough here. And the reason why is because after castles, h6, white loses a tempo. But instead, white takes the pawn. And I believe white did this because if the pawn takes here, it's actually not bad for white. And the reason being is because after, I think it's e takes on f6, bishop takes back on f6. d4. Oh, that is not d4. d4. White's coming down here, and he has this rook freed up coming down on this file. And there's just threats coming down the board here. And you have the bishop sniping here, pinning this pawn right here to the king. And queen's going to be coming in the game here soon, too. There's nothing stopping the queen from getting here. And the list goes on and on and on. But, Supra plays the best move here, which is taking with the knight. I think the line I played there was h takes, right? Yeah, h takes. Good job here from Supra recognizing that. We now see it takes here. Rook takes. And I believe it could have been better. Yeah, no. So, oh wait, the queen's hanging. That's why you couldn't take the bishop here. Okay. In the broadcast, I did not see the queen was hanging here. Okay, that makes sense. Why can't you not take on f7 though? You can. And you're up material. Yeah. White wouldn't want to take this knight here. He'd want to keep material on the board. Dang, okay. But you take with the rook. And it's an even position here. You wanted to take with the knight here too. The reason why it's bad taking with the king is because the rook is pinning the knight to the king. So note there for you, Supra. But we see knight here to, where's that, d5? Yeah, d5. King g8, sliding the king back. Good recognition of that pin too a little bit later. Nicely done. Yeah, in the Halloween special on Friday, you guys are all required to play Halloween Gambit. Everybody has to play Halloween Gambit. D4 now played here from white. Knight slides over here, and this was knight 7 was a little bit better, or actually a lot better. And then we see he takes the piece, pushes the pawn, knight slides here, and now this knight's very powerful. On the 4th rank, covered by a pawn. Only thing that can stop it really is the bishop. But after a quick move like here, or honestly probably here, actually probably wouldn't go there because of that, you're doing just fine. Queen slides down here now. Super now pushes forward with the pawn. We see en passant played here from white. The knight takes back, queen slides back, and then we see the queen taking here. And somehow this is an inaccuracy too. You could have played 95 straight away. Once again, this knight's very powerful because it's covered by the pawn, and the queen cannot take here, so the queen's going to be forced to move, and it says d4 is good. After this, you probably go... It says bishop d7. Wait, why bishop d7? Bishop c6. Takes. You get the pawn back. Okay. But what about this? No, you could just go knight. Yeah, you just go knight g6. Okay. All right. Anyways, takes here, and then white slides over here. White had to take the queen here, because now Super's going to be raining fire and hell on the king. Bishop e3 check, and also with that check, the bishop can slide up here. Super good stuff here. That's a fantastic recognition here. Queen takes on b7, and that's even worse now because the rook slides over. Queen has to move, and now the checkmate is coming. After the rook slides down, only move that can stop checkmate. The knight's going to jump in. What was better there? Queen e1. Only move is rook f1, and after that you play queen e2. Interesting. Sorry, I got backwards. Yeah, but rook here. The knight slides up. I still think that's reasonable. Oh my gosh, and that's actually second. The bishop's actually the best move. Crazy. Good find there from oh my gosh, I forgot his name already. Harshbu. Takes back. And if the rook goes here, it's going to be a forced mate. Except for queen check. Takes the rook. I thought you might have had a smothered mate here potentially. But after this, you can just sack the rook. But let's say the king does hypothetically go here. Oh my gosh, you do have a smothered mate. Because after knight d1, king h1, queen takes on d2. Oh, it's this. Ha 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 ha. Dang. Crazy. But anyways, king h1 takes the rook. Good job here from Super. And you taking here, blunders checkmate in one move. The only way to stop checkmate is obviously to probably move the rook over here, I would imagine. But even if you go there, it's still mate in one. I believe you could only play... Oh, you can only play queen f7 check. That's the only move that stops mate. Crazy. But Super wins a very nice game and moves on to the next round. So GG's to Supra. All right, so coming up next we have TJ. And I believe this is Sparsh? Yeah, Sparsh. Yep, you're right, bro. There was 100% smothered mate there. Good stuff. All right, so from this game, we are going to watch from... All right, we watched from last perspective, so we're going to watch from last perspective this game. I don't think either of these guys are in here. I got some messages on here. Hang on, Captain Bill just messaged me. I'm going to message him back. Okay, alright. So let's go ahead and pull up the eval here, or the review. Sparsh played a 77.4, TJ played a 64.9, 1350 to 800. And they both played good out of the opening, but TJ messed up in the middle game. My man. Alright, TJ's in here. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. TJ opens the game up with d4. Worst move on the board. I don't know why chess.com says this is a book move. It should be a blunder. E4 is the only valid move. I'm lying. E6 now played. We see C4 played here from TJ. The queen's pawn opening Horwitz defense. After this we see D5. Knight C3. And what's cool about this too, now this is a queen's gambit declined. If the pawn takes here, TJ can just push that pawn, and now the pawn, like, you're going to get that back real quick. If B5 is played, I believe you have a wing gambit here, no? Oh, no, it just hangs a pawn. But, alright. Black does not take that pawn, though. They develop the knight here to f6. Good move. E3 now played here from TJ. Bishop e7. All book moves. Well done from these guys on the theory. Beautiful. We see a castles here from TJ. Also, these guys are on move 7, and they're still playing book moves. Like great stuff here from these guys. We see a pawn takes here now. Bishop takes back. Forced move there, and then we see h6. TJ had a chance to capitalize here if he would have played either e4, taking some space, or Engine says you can also play, I believe it's queen e2. But this is the best move. But he lets the rook over, and honestly, I feel like that move is reasonable. I see your vision. I look like you were trying to like fire the pawn up here with the rook and get another defender on it. The pawn now pushes here. So TJ finds e4 here. That has good views, but it was a booed video. Yeah, now that you're here, the views have gone up. So shout out to you for being here. We're reviewing our chess tournament games from today. We're all improving and getting better. We see b5 played here from. I keep forgetting this guy. I want to call him Spassky. It's Sparsh. Not Spassky, Sparsh. Bishop d3 now played here from TJ. I feel like Bishop b3 was a little bit better because I feel like if this pawn pushes here, I feel like you could slide down here. No, you can't because of b4. Pawn's attacking the knight. Yeah, let's say you do play here. What would you play after this? Oh, that hangs a pawn. Oh my gosh, bro, that hangs a pawn. Yeah. Okay. Math is mathing. All right, but this is still a good move, TJ. I still think this is a very good move. Get the bishop in danger. Obviously, you had to play one of 3 moves here, and you picked the second best one. So honestly, more than valid, especially in blitz. We now see bishop e7, and this is where all hell starts breaking loose in this game. So buckle your seatbelt, guys. We got a bumpy ride. We see queen d2 played here now from TJ, and the reason why this is a very bad move, it says it's a mistake, is because you're blocking your bishop in. Instead of playing this move in this spot, you probably could have played either queen e2, not blocking the bishop in, so the bishop still has some room to breathe. You could have also played bishop c2 here, sliding the bishop back, and then e5 here was plausible too. Except for e5, let's say knight d5, knight takes on d5, bishop takes back on d5, and then you see bishop e4. Queen d2 not played, and like I said, the sole reason this is a mistake is because you're literally just blocking your bishop in, and you kind of lose a little bit of tempo. And also, this move right here, which is a very nice move here found by our friend, dude, why do I keep forgetting his name? Sparsh. Getting your brain full strive. Sparsh. Alright. We see d takes on c5. It would have been better to play d5 here. Because after d5 it takes... you would not take here. Because after takes, the queen's going to fall. Yeah. And, no? Knight takes. Yeah, you lose material. But, anyways. Here, the knight takes... You slide the queen up here. And I believe just this... oh yeah, it hangs this piece, that's why. This piece right here. And Sparsh does a good job of spotting that. Nicely done. TJ now slides the queen up here. Knight jumps forward. Yeah, this whole sequence right here is literally what lost TJ the game right here. This middle game sequence right here. You block the bishop in. You should not have taken there. You should have pushed d5, sorry. And after takes, you need to play bishop c2. Yes, the queen's come off the board. Take a look at knight's better here. Yeah, because because you gotta defend that pawn. But yeah, that sequence right there is low-key what got you in the spot you got in that game. We see queen takes on d3 now. And good job not taking the queen back here. You definitely want to keep the queen on the board here when you're down material. So nice job here from TJ. Queen slides back here now. I believe this pawn would have been free for the taking. F takes on e4. Knight takes back on e4. Knight takes on e4. You cannot take with the rook, so the bishop's going to take. And yeah. But yeah, good job getting the queen out of there. Queen slides back here now. I picked the right piece, but moved it to the wrong spot. Playing a stronger player, I should have traded queens ASAP. I agree. 100%. Especially when you're getting lower on time, too. But 95 here now played from TJ. Queen slides down. Rook slides up. I feel like you should have played something a little... I was thinking you slide down here, but that loses to this, no? Oh, yeah. Cannot take. And also there's something coming down here too. But rook e3. Knight slides down, and then you sack the queen. Takes back, pawn push. I feel like at this point you're just going there. And then the queen was hanging here. Oh, but TJ was too low on time to spot it. He sacks the queen. Now, keep in mind, the game is still completely and utterly lost in all regards. Because after knight f4, knight f4, if rook e1, these are top engine moves, by the way. Knight fd3. Yeah. Raining all fire in hell. But it's still a tricky spot, and with low time, it would have been tough for... I imagine it would have been very, very tough for Sparsh to capitalize on that. But you slide the king up here, and you're low on time. I understand. I'm low. I completely understand. I think this is actually where the funny line happened. Full stride falls asleep at the wheel. Queen e1, king slides up to g2. We see a knight check here. Good move here. Queen goes here, king takes, bishop comes down. The faster mate here would have been queen takes on f2. If the rook blocks, it's going to be mate in 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's here, no? No, it's not. Am I blind? Bishop g5. But yeah, so it takes, you only move to stave off, checkmate, is to go here. With top engine play, let's say knight d7, g5, bishop takes on g5, king has to go here, and then this is checkmate. No, that is not checkmate. Queen g2 check. King has one more move. Now it's checkmate. No, it is not. Still not checkmate. Dude, I actually might be blind. Knight f6. Okay. But anyways, that was that. Perfect play is probably not going to happen with 26 seconds to 15 seconds on the clock. We see it takes here now. Pawn takes back. Bishop slides up, and now it's mate in 3. The mate in 3 was f5. G takes. Rook takes. King g4. Oh, you can't take back, 'cause it's pinned. King g4, and then you play the bait with the pawn. Yeah, here, low time control, and honestly, Sparsh does a great job of just getting pieces off the board at this point with low time. Go ahead and shuffle through this real fast, and a great checkmating technique here with the bishop on d3. Nicely done, defeating TJ on move 44. One final time. TJ, I expect you to never move your queen to block your bishop ever again. This move was better than this. After this move, and then this move, you need to play e5 here. And instead of this move you played here, you need to play bishop c2. So that is the note for you in that one. So GG's, regardless. You played very, very well up until that point. So full kudos to you. I know you'll be back. I feel like with a warm-up, I believe you said you didn't play a warm-up game either. So if you would, on next time, make sure you play some warm-up games, bro. But GG's to you guys. But let's go on to the next game here now, between Exploring Chess and the man himself, Mr. Brutus. Wow. This is a crazy game. So Brutus played a 95.3% accurate game in this one to Exploring Chess's 74.7, 1800 to 1200. Fascinating. Let's see. Pull this down real quick and let's jump right into it. Who do we watch from? We watch from my perspective, so we're going to watch from Brutus's perspective. We see e4 played here. And also, guys, just so we're clear on this too, this game definitely was not a bad game. A game that would be at fault because this game was very, very short. It was 20 moves, and a key blunder in one. And at some point in this game is why the game turned outside. All right. Anyways, e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6. Petrov's defense turned to a 3 knights and into a 4 knights. We see the pawn push here. Good job taking the piece here by Brutus, and then taking back the knight here. Now vicious pinning here. We see it takes, queen slides down, pawn pushes. This is actually an inaccuracy because of queen e5 check. And the reason why is because the only piece without moving the king you can block it with is here. And this is actually exactly what happened in the game. Queen takes on e7 is the best move. Let's say we say queen takes on c7. With the queen taken on c7. The queen can now take here. But the knight is actually a better move because now you have more threats coming into the position. Queen is also x-raying. And there's literally, quite literally nothing white can do without sacking a piece. Takes here, and you cannot take with the pawn because it would blunder a fork of the rook and the king. And Explore Chess actually does a good job of that. But he does castle here. I don't think there's any saving this bishop, actually. I think the only way he could have maybe saved it was... Oh, it actually wants him to take on here. But at this point, this move right here killed the game right here on the spot for Explore Chess, unfortunately. Rook takes. We see castles here. Pawn push. Bishop takes. Rook takes back. And now the cavalry is coming. Explore Chess knows he needs to keep his material on the board. Slides the queen up. Queen goes back. Pawn pushes. Rook slides in here. And this move right here blunders checkmate in one move. And Brutus advances to the championship match of the Full Stripe Chess tournaments. No one's really pushed those queenside pawns on me like that before. I got those first 6 moves memorized. Bro has the theory down. Yeah, he did kind of push the pawns a little weird there. Things just got really discombobulated in that game. But GG's to Brutus in this one. He won a very nice game. And so now we have 2 more games I'm going to show you guys, and then we're going to talk about what happened with me and Magnus. Go ahead and pull the review up on screen. Somebody messaged me on Discord. LG responded. I gotta respond to LG in a sec. Okay. Also, you guys that are in here, if you guys could leave a like on this stream, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and jump into Super's game here with, I believe this is Spask. Oh my gosh, I forgot already. Sparsh. With Sparsh. Super played a 77.3, and Sparsh played a 77.2. Both these players played very, very even game. Played a very, very even game. And I believe Sparsh actually was winning this entire game until a fatal move at the end, which we will look into here shortly. 1500 from Supra, 1450 from Sparsh. All right, let's go ahead and pull this off the screen. And we are watching from Supra's perspective because he's in the stream and Sparsh is not. I don't think so. I mean, Supra, you got to take with chess.com too. If a blunder is made like what was made on this move with Explore Chess, this move right here, it is very, very hard to not play a perfect game. Like, had this move not been played, I feel like it would have been a much different rating in this game because it would have been a longer game. And after this move is played, like, the moves are just so easy to come by. And with less moves means that it's a higher percentage game, and the list goes on and on and on. But just so you know. Anyways, let's get into Supra and Mr. Sparsha's game. We see knight f3, the ready opening played here from Supra. e6, e4, d5, e5. Good stuff. French defense, knight variation. c5 not played here. Nice. Pawn pushes. All right, yeah. For whatever reason, I thought that move was bad, but that's a book move. It's the Alpine Sicilian defense, duh. Because you're trying to get here, which is exactly what you did. Takes, and this actually looks very similar to a Sicilian setup that I usually get in my, or a Scandinavian setup that I usually get in my games. Bishop e4 now played here. Kitty is sad. Why are you sad? Knight comes here to c3. Pawn push, pawn push. Bishop comes up here to g5. And a better move here, Supra, would have been to play b5 apparently. Push the pawn a little bit forward. I see why you wouldn't have played this up because the knight gets in here. But honestly, the bishop's still snacking here, so it's not too big of a worry. But yeah, just so you know, that's what the engine was calling for there. We see castles. Bishop slides up here to e2. Bishop d7. Castles, h6. Slides the bishop back. You want to get a take here. Bishop slides back, knight f5. And we get our first blunder of the game, queen c1. And this is a blunder because of knight takes on d4. Which is what is played. Takes back. And before we get into that move, you okay? Oh, it's okay. Aw. Poor kitty. Sorry for bipping your nose. It's okay. Alright. And I wanted you to take here. I understand why you didn't though too, because you probably don't want to give a chair off the board. It's going for queen d1 or bishop d1. Why can't you go here? Because you wanted a fork. Crazy. And that's actually what happened in the game. No, it's not. Bishop took. We see takes back, and then the knight takes. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Rook slides over here, queen comes down, rook slides up, rook slides forward here to, what is that, c7. Rook slides over here, and queen e7. Bishop f5. And I actually saw exactly what you were trying to do here. And I genuinely feel like it was flawless, because after e takes on f5, you're going to push this pawn. What does the engine want you to play instead of this? It wants you to play b5. Why would you play b5? Go with the plan, which is exactly what you did. And he fell for it. Oh, you got checkmate on move 24 after being down absolutely every single piece imaginable. Supra, well done. Well done, my friend. Well done. Very nicely played. He's just a cat. You okay? Alright. I love this tactic here. Super, did you see this all the way? You had to have seen it all the way. You have to play F takes, because the queen covers. You want the bishop though? Queen cannot cover that pawn. Checkmate. Nicely done, Supra. Alright, time for our final match of this review before we tell the story of me meeting Magnus. In this game, hang on, so you guys can see. Supra played an 83.8% accurate game, and Mr. Brutus played a 75% accurate game. No blunders from either player. Supra played like a 1700, and Brutus played like an 800. Let's see what happened in this one. So let's go ahead and pull this down. So, Brutus opens the game up with e4. See e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. So, plays knight d4. And the reason why this move is bad is because after knight takes on d4, e takes on d4, I believe it's after castles, this pawn is extremely exposed. And once you play c6 here, after rook e1, you can probably go d6 here now. No, that's not d6. That's d5. This is d6. And if the rook take, what? How can the rook take its own pawn? After c3, but essentially the point is this pawn's isolated and very, very vulnerable. All right, let's rewind. All right. We see c3 played here. Super responds with bishop c5. You could have played d5 instead, because if takes, knight f6, bishop is forced to go somewhere. Forced to go back to c4, because let's say white castle's here. That hangs a pawn. But yeah, you played here instead, and I see what you're thinking here. Also, the bishop's coming down here, so that's a bit of a threat here for Supra. But Brutus pushes the pawn forward here now, attacking the bishop. Bishop slides back, pawn pushes forward here now. And also, good job from Brutus not taking this pawn here too, because if he does, he's going to hang his rook, because the rook cannot escape. A4 now played. We see a6, a5, bishop slides back here to a7, and then the knight comes here, and this is where Supra starts to turn the game around. We see d5. Good move from Supra. Pawn takes back. Bishop forced to slide back. And Supra gets a pawn in this spot. And what's crazy about this too, like you notice how these pawns are doubled. It's covered by the queen, the bishop cannot take. After the bishop slides back, after this pawn takes, the knight is now under attack, so it's forced to move. And after the knight does move, Supra could eventually play this move. I don't know if you want to play it right away though, because you probably want to keep the bishop sniping, which is fascinating. But we see knight f6 played here now from Supra. Engine doesn't want you to play d4 either here. It says either knight e7, queen e7, creating check, or knight f6. Oh. So it was the third top engine move. Queen c2 now played. Queen e2 is better, creating check. We see d4. And that is a miss. Castling was better. Castle's now here from white. It is literally screaming for you to play queen e2 here. Castles. Bishop f4. And now the game's turned on its head. So after bishop f5. Knight d4. Knight d5. After knight d5. Bishop g5. Probably can't play there, no? Yeah, no. Alright, bishop f4, bishop f5. I just realized my mic is far away too. Sorry if I sounded a little bit farther away. King e4 was an attempt for a gambit. Ah, I see. Okay, noted. Rook fu1, knight slides over. We see takes. Rook slides down here now. And it looks like Brutus has life. But Supra finds the best move on the board. I believe he took a little bit of time. He took 15 seconds there, finding the best move. Well done there from Supra. We now see rook ae1, doubling the rooks. Honestly, the best you can hope for in this spot. After rook fe8. Also, can you take this pawn yet? No, you can't. The knight's covering. The knight takes here now. And that just straight up hangs a knight. Supra recognizes that immediately. We see rook slides back. Queen slides up here now. You probably could have just straight up taken the rook, get some material off the board. Queen 2 is better, so they can't come back here or Supra can't come back here to put pressure on this file. But queen b5, still a reasonable move. Now you take the rook, and now you can bring the rook over here because it's covered by the queen. Oh, Supra, the technique is flawless. Queen c2 now played. We see queen d7. Bishop slides back here to g3. Queen slides up to p5. Pawn push. Queen comes back. King slides down. Queen slides back up. King g1. And in this spot, I think Bruce was just honestly trying to keep some time on his clock. Yeah, he's shuffling the pieces. We see a takes, queen check, pawn push, h5 better. And the reason being is because now your bishop has very limited mobility. Because if you play h5 here, obviously they can't play here because you lose a piece. Not there, and then you also have a get home safe square for the bishop, which honestly doesn't really matter in this spot. You're up 3 pieces of material. Pawn push here now. Pawn pushes forward, and the bishop takes here now, attacking the queen. So the queen is forced to move, but to no avail because the bishop comes back to block the checking attempt. Also, yeah, bishop c4. It's once you play king f8. But how is that move not better? Oh, because you can attack the rook. Now if you take the rook, you're going to get the rook back. I see. Alright. But you get the rook here. Pawn's pushing. You're gonna get a queen. He has to take the piece, and Supra in a couple of moves. Main one. Yeah, the main one. Where was the main one? It was rook e4. Also queen e2, which checkmate too. You played here. King slides up. Queen check. Actually, not yet. Okay. Oh my gosh. Queen f2 mate. King has no squares. And then, yeah, here. And then checkmate was delivered on move 47, and Supra wins the tournament in very fantabulous fashion. So GG's to Supra. Well done, my friend. And that's going to conclude our reviews, guys. So now it's time to do the story. It's story time, guys. GG, Supra. Congrats on winning the tournament. I will get you your money tomorrow, though, for sure. Alright, awesome. Cool. So I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about my experience speaking with Magnus. I do need to reset this real quick before I forget to. We're going to come down here and switch to this screen. Sweet. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm going to come back real fast, and we're going to talk about how I met Magnus. I wish I could get that picture on screen. I think I can actually get that picture on screen. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Hang on. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Awesome sauce. And I'm going to record this and I'm turning it into a YouTube video too. I'm going to raise my seat up here real fast. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up on screen. All right. I'm going to put this picture of me and Magnus on screen for you guys too. Let me email it to myself real fast. Where is that photo with me and the king himself? Awesome. Show you guys the photo that is going to be hung on my wall with me and the King Magnus. All right, come on. All right, beautiful. That has been sent to me. I'm going to download this image. Come on. All right, save image. Unnamed, add image. Oh my word, this photo was so freaking big. All right. All right, awesome. Cool. All right. Turn down the volume on the music here real fast. All right, story time. Just go ahead and turn the recording on. I'm trying to think if I should do like a hype trailer. All right. I'm just going to do it like this. All right. Recording starts in 3, 2, 1. I met Magnus Carlsen at the recent clutch chess tournament that occurred here in St. Louis. And I got to tell you, this story is absolutely crazy. So, I had a ticket to go to day 1 of clutch chess. And I arrived at the event probably around like an hour early just to kind of like hang out, go walk around, see what's going on in the lobby and whatnot and all that fun stuff. And I did get a tour of everything. I got a video of the area where the players would be playing. I got a tour of the Grandmaster Lounge where the masters would be sitting down and chatting. And also this tournament, it includes Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, Gukesh Damaraju, I believe it's Damaraju if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Fabiano Caruana, the 4 best chess players in the entire world. And after all that was said and done, I went back down to the lobby to try and just hang out and just see if any of the players will walk by and see if I could get a photo or something, like an autograph or anything with some of these top 4 chess players, because these guys are very, very popular in the chess community. Obviously, Magnus is the most popular in the chess community, and Hikaru close second. Gukesh, obviously very popular as well. He's a world chess champion, probably the most famous person in all of India, and then Fabiano Caruana. So I was sitting in the lounge, and a gentleman next to me was just kind of sitting there on his phone, and I tried to strike up a little bit of a conversation with him, and him and I got to talking about the event, what's going on and everything, and we're chatting for about 30 minutes, and this guy tells me, he goes, oh yeah, and by the way, my son's actually playing today. I'm like, your son's playing today? Who? And he goes, Hikaru Nakamura. And I sat there, and I actually went into shock for a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is Hikaru Nakamura's dad. Like, completely and utterly at a loss of words. And after that, I shook his hand. I was like, dude, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a big fan of Hikaru. I've watched him for years. Like, he's easily one of my favorite chess streamers, obviously behind like Gotham Chess and a couple other guys. Daniel Naroditsky, rest in peace, brother. But him and I got to talking. We spoke about Deep Blue. He kind of broke down for me exactly why he thinks that Deep Blue wasn't even fair. Like, we went into the whole story. I'm pretty well versed in the Deep Blue theory, but honestly, I just straight up asked him. I was like, hey, so like, you were around for Deep Blue. That was before my time. I'm only 24. Like, what was it like? Explain to me like your thought process on how it all went down. And he just went into full depth about it and just broke it down for me. And it was a very, very fun interaction and conversation with the guy. We also got into talking about Hikaru Nakamura's upbringing as a kid. Obviously, this is his stepdad, not technically his father. His stepdad had a very big influence on Hikaru Nakamura growing up, so kind of low key, just like a dad to him. But we were speaking and talking about that, and this guy starts showing me Hikaru Nakamura baby pics. Like, he showed me a wedding photo of baby Hikaru and his other brother at their wedding, when I honestly forgot his stepdad's name, but I probably should remember. But he showed me the wedding photo they had with little baby Hikaru and his other brother, and I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. I thought about asking him to send it to me, but I felt like that would have been weird to be all like, oh yeah, send me your wedding picture of baby Hikaru, please. Like, that's just weird, so I didn't ask him that. But we also got into talking about engines and a bunch of other awesome stuff, and I genuinely believe that, like, speaking with this guy was probably one of the coolest conversations I've ever had in my entire life. So that all happened, and as him and I were talking, the players were starting to pull up. I believe it was Fabiano Caruana who showed up first for day 1. He didn't want a picture walking in, so he went straight up to the Grandmaster Lounge, and then Gukesh shortly followed him after that. He also didn't want a picture to start out, so he went quickly up to the Grandmaster Lounge as well. And then Hikaru came in, and I'm with Hikaru's dad, and Hikaru's dad actually introduced me to Hikaru. He's like, hey, Hikaru, this is John. He has a really cool brand called Full Strive and blah, blah, blah. And Hikaru was like, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Very, very polite. Hikaru, by the way, a very genuine guy. I literally have so much respect for him. Like, he's a top grandmaster, and every single time he plays in a major tournament, he is always, and I mean always, doing reviews immediately following the tournament for YouTube and all the viewers to break it down and just explain it to people who aren't as talented as he is in chess. But I asked him if I could get a picture with him, and he didn't even flinch. He was like, of course, yeah, absolutely, man. So him and I got a picture. That was really cool. I might have that show up on screen, I believe. Yeah, you will see it on screen. It's right, not there. Oh, right there. And that was cool. And then finally, late as always, the final boss, Magnus Carlsen, comes tootling in. I immediately, as soon as I saw him, I was like, Magnus, gotta get a picture, Magnus, gotta get a picture. And he goes, no, sorry. And he just ran upstairs. Because he was 5 minutes late, so he technically had to go upstairs. I think it was 5 minutes late. I think it was only like 1 minute late. But he ran upstairs to go to the Grandmaster's Lounge. And the tournament happened that day. I believe Magnus lost the first game to Fabi. And I honestly don't remember what what exactly happened in the tournament. I believe the results are online though, so I'm gonna go ahead and just probably add those on screen too for you guys. I am keep pointing in the wrong direction, but it's over there. And after the tournament was all done, by the way, I sat and watched every single match. I cannot even begin to tell you how cool it is to sit and watch probably 4 of the greatest chess players to ever play chess. I am sorry, I nerded out so hard. The one thing I do regret, though, that I was upset about, is that I couldn't bring my phone upstairs, so I couldn't record at all, let alone get pictures. So I actually asked this guy to take a photo of me while Magnus and Hikaru were playing, which I believe they played in the final. They were the final pairing of the day for day 1. And this gentleman was very, very kind and took a photo of me, and he actually sent it to me straight away. And I'm actually going to put that photo on screen too. If Bro is watching this and he sees this at some point in time, shout out to you. I honestly did not catch your name. He was a younger guy with white hair and super duper cool. But that photo was very, very important to me because it was like a picture of me with my arms crossed, and then you could see Magnus in the background just absolutely battling it out with Hikaru Nakamura. And you already know, like, Hikaru Nakamura and Magnus Carlsen games are just absolute spectacles. So, after that was all said and done, I actually went downstairs after the first game of round 3 concluded, and Hikaru actually beat Magnus. So Hikaru beat Magnus in the second to last game of the day, and so they would flip-flop pieces, and it would be, I think it was Magnus with the black pieces and Hikaru with the white pieces. And I went downstairs, and also, fun fact, I had to get waved down by a wand every time I went up into the playing hall. Like, they literally waved me down. They went down my legs, my arms, my chest, my back, my butt, everything. They literally waved me down completely. This one guy kept smacking me with the dang thing. And he was like, if I smack you again, you have permission to bash my knee in. I was like, say less, bro. But that was kind of crazy. And I went back upstairs to watch their third game. And as most of you probably know who are seeing this, they actually made a quick draw. Like, they probably finished their game in less than 5 minutes. So I got up there and I saw they were gone. I was like looking around, like, what? And I looked up at the board and I saw they made a draw, and I asked somebody, I was like, hey, did the game just end? And they're like, yeah, the game just ended. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because I wanted to be down in the lobby before Magnus walked out because I wanted to try and get a picture with him. Right? So I run back down to the lobby and I get there in time. And Magnus comes out of the elevator after getting out of his interview. And I asked him, I was like, hey, Magnus. Or, what did I say? I said, hey, Magnus, can I please get a photo with you, please? And he goes, no, sorry, pissed. And he left with his coach. His coach is also a big dude. Like, I'm pretty sure it's actually his brother. Someone was telling me it was his brother, but it's his coach. But low-key, it looks like his bodyguard. Like, this is a big dude. And so I was like, okay. And then, of course, Hikaru comes down again. Comes and takes a bunch of pictures with the fans. I actually took another selfie with Hikaru because I thought that, why not? That'll be on screen here, too, for you, so you can look at that. That was really awesome. And then Fabiano came down after that. He actually had the worst day of day 1, and I asked him if I get a picture, and he also said yes. Fabi, very genuine guy, very good sport. That picture's going to be on screen here too. Thought that was pretty awesome. And then Gukesh, who had the best day of day 1, came down afterwards, and him and I got a picture too. And that was one of my biggest things. Obviously wanted the picture with Hikaru, But I wanted that picture with Gukesh so incredibly bad, more than life itself. And not more than life itself. I probably would have exchanged it for a Magnus picture for obvious reasons. It's Magnus Carlsen, but still a very cool photo with Gukesh. But we got that picture, and if I didn't say it already, it's on the screen. I believe. I'm going to cut this out if I already said that. And hang on, let me do that again. The photo's on screen here too, if you want to take a quick peek at that too. But after that was all said and done, we kind of hung out for a little bit longer, and then I left. And I cannot even begin to tell you how sad I was that I did not get a picture with Magnus Carlsen. I got a picture with every single player but Magnus. And I'm not going to lie, Magnus in an interview after the first day, he said he wasn't feeling very good. So I honestly gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, like he was feeling sick. Like I obviously was kind of really upset. I was texting family chats and my friends being like, oh, Magnus didn't take a picture with me. He's so mean, grr. And he kind of just threw a temper tantrum. But I decided that I was going to come back the next day, which I only had a ticket for day one. I said I was going to come back the next day. And I got my friend to drive out there with me. And we drove out there. We got there about 30 minutes early, which the players start arriving right between 11:45 and 12 p.m. usually for this, or not St. Louis time, for the tournament. So they're like on time, ready to rock before everything's all said and done. And I get there, and actually on my way there too, I was actually kind of freaking out because there was a bad accident, and I was like going very, very slowly to get there because I live like 30, 40 minutes away. And I was low-key kind of panicking. I was like, no, please, I have to meet Magnus, please, come on, hurry up, please stop crashing your cars, or else I'm going to crash out in my car. But we get there on time, and I'm waiting outside the St. Louis Chess Club. And I instructed my friend, I said, hey, you're going to have your phone, and you're going to have my phone. Your instructions are to record the entire thing with your phone. And then you are also going to be snapping as many photos as possible with my phone. Obviously, like, you guys all know, you guys are chess fans. If you're watching this, I imagine you're a chess fan. If not, welcome to the chess community. Join my Discord. And I just wanted to capture as much of the experience as I possibly could. So we're over there waiting. And I kid you not, dude. I kid you not. This dude, Magnus, comes tootling down the street and just casually walks into a coffee shop. Like he isn't the most popular player in the entire world. By himself, nobody else. He just walks into the coffee shop. And my jaw just immediately drops. I'm like, bro, we have to go over there right now. And me and my friend, we went over there. And there was actually another gentleman that went in there with us. And we go into this coffee shop and Magnus is ordering a coffee. And it was actually kind of funny because like I'm sorry, I'm nerding out. I don't want this to be too much of a Magnus glaze, although it pretty much is a Magnus glaze. But the dude's ordering like a coffee and like a bagel or something, and I hear him go, and then the lady at the register goes, "What is the name on the order?" And he goes, "Magnus." I don't know, it's flex. Shout out to that coffee lady, dude. You just witnessed history. Magnus ordered coffee from you. But he's ordering, and I thought he finished his order. And I went and tapped on his shoulder, and I was like, hey, Max, you okay if I get a quick photo with you? And he goes, sorry, I'm still ordering. Let me finish my order, please. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I felt really bad because I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I genuinely wanted to wait until he was done before I asked him for a photo. And the thought came to me, too. I was like, what if I actually bought his coffee and bagel for him? I think I got like a bag of chips, too. Obviously, he has more money than me. He's Magnus freaking Carlsen. He's probably made a lot more from this tournament alone than what I have made in the past 2 years. But something I could have done. I thought it could have been a good memorabilia or memory that he could keep with him. That, oh, some random guy off the street just asked me to, or just bought my food for me, or my food and my coffee. That was cool. But I ended up not doing that, and I felt upset about it later. But he got all done, and the guy that we were with, who walked in with us, he was carrying a chessboard, and he asked me to take a photo with him and Magnus, and we did. And Magnus goes over to his table to set his stuff down, and I go over, and I'm like, okay, are you okay if we get the picture now? And he goes, yeah, sure, let's do it. And this photo you see on your screen right now, this one right here, is the photo I got with Magnus freaking Carlsen. A lot of people have been asking me too if I asked him anything, but genuinely speaking, after his rough day yesterday, I low-key was a little bit scared. I didn't want to make the guy mad or anything. And I thanked him for the photo. I wished him luck in the tournament, and I said I hope he has a very good result to conclude this tournament and his stay here in St. Louis. And also, like, upon recording this video, I believe he actually just won the entire thing. So, congratulations, Magnus. That is freaking cool. And yeah, I met Magnus Carlsen. I got a photo with him, and I just nerded the frick out. Literally, just nerded the literal frick out. Definitely didn't like scream or be like ah on the ride home. Totally not. But yeah, I got a photo with Magnus, Hikaru, Fabiano Caruana, and the World Chess Champion Gukesh this week in St. Louis, and I am beyond blessed to be able to do that. There are millions of chess fans who would want a photo with one of these players, mind you, but I got a photo with all four of them. And I think that's actually the coolest thing. A quick little rewind. These are all the photos here that you see on screen there. It's going to go over your Blitz rewind that you see on the screen there too. And yeah, that's the story. Craziest experience of my entire life. And also, I got a really cool wristband too. I'm going to show this real quick for the camera. It's a clutch chess bracelet, just to like prove to you guys that was there. VIP, bought my ticket online, and this is like a national treasure to me, along with this photo with Magnus. So, absolutely otherworldly experience. I cannot even begin to put into words how grateful I am that Magnus took that photo with me. And also, side note too, before we wrap things up, when Magnus left the coffee shop, he literally was like already 10 minutes late. I'm pretty sure he was 10, or not 10 minutes. He was like 5 minutes late. And this dude, I actually recorded and put it on my Instagram if you guys want to check that out, at @full_strive. He walks up to the tournament, just doing his little Magnus walk, and slides under the rail and just literally bolts into the chess club. And everybody, there was like speculation. People were like being like, oh, he didn't say good morning, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, he's late for the tournament. It's Magnus. Come on, show some respect. He gets this all the time. He's probably sick of it by now. Actually, I definitely think he's sick of it by now. But that was truly one of the coolest experiences of my entire life. And Magnus, Hikaru, Fabiano Caruana, Gukesh. If you guys ever see this video, I just want y'all to know that y'all are truly the biggest inspirations, probably the top 4 biggest inspirations in all of chess. Roughly, Gotham Chess is probably up there too. And I just want to say that I respect all of you guys, and I'm very grateful that you all took the time to take photos with me. And I genuinely hope that you all have a wonderful and fantastic rest of your guys' career. And I wish you all the absolute best in your content journey, brands, whatever that may be. I wish you all the absolute best. And that's going to wrap things up. And that is the story of how I met Magnus Carlsen. I'm not going to do the entire outro for you guys. Go ahead and just leave a like, comment, and tell me what you would do in an instance where you're meeting Magnus, Hikaru, Gukesh, Fabi. Have you guys ever even met them? Tell me in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it. And also, please be sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And it would mean the absolute world to me. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful and fantastic rest of your day. Peace. And that's the story, guys. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Beyond blessed to have gotten to meet that guy. Who's in here still? I did get to talk to Gukesh for a little bit. I think I said a couple things to Gukesh. I said, bro, I think I told him, bro, you winning the World Chess Championship might be the coolest achievement I've ever seen out of Youngtown in any profession, whatever it may be. So congratulations on that. I hope you have a great rest of your tournament. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I said. But shout out Supra. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and start editing that video up. I have a lot of things I have to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and bang that out. Guys, I thank you all so much for being here in this live stream. You guys are really, really helping me push my brand out, and the YouTube and the tournaments, and you guys showing up every day, being on the YouTube live stream, being on the Purple app live stream, being in the Discord server, interacting in the Discord. You are literally helping build something special here. And I promise you, with every fiber of my being, I'm going to continue to make this the greatest chess community the world has ever seen. And we are on the come up. There's no slowing us down. So enough of the soft stuff. Guys, I know it's probably late for y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and peace out. Y'all across the pond, I hope you all have a great rest of your night and sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. And those of you that are on my side of the pond, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And that's going to conclude